What is an estoppel certificate and why am I being asked to sign one? An estoppel certificate is a document that a party signs and possibly has notarized, which certifies, among other things, that the lease is in effect and that the tenant has paid rent through a date certain. It may also include a certification as to the amount of any security deposit, the expiration date of the lease, and/or whether the other party is in default under the lease. Landlords typically require an estoppel certificate from its tenants in connection with obtaining a mortgage or selling the property. When a landlord requests that a tenant complete, sign, and/or notarize an estoppel certificate, it is important for the tenant to closely review the estoppel certificate to confirm it is accurate. An estoppel certificate may typically be relied upon by the landlord, a potential lender, or a potential purchaser. If there is anything inaccurate contained in the estoppel certificate, a person or entity that relied on it can bring a claim against the tenant that signed the estoppel certificate. Further, if there are any statements contained in the estoppel certificate that are inaccurate and harm the tenant, the estoppel certificate can be used against the tenant by the landlord or any subsequent purchaser of the building. The best practice is to have a commercial leasing attorney review your lease and any other lease documents, including any amendment, commencement date, or rent commencement date notices, etc., to determine whether the statements are accurate. Tenants may also request that the landlord sign an estoppel certificate in connection with the tenant's attempt to obtain financing or sell its business. One issue for a tenant to be aware of is if the landlord is not required to complete an estoppel certificate under the lease, then the tenant has little to no recourse should the landlord either refuse to sign it by a date certain, or attempt to impose a condition before agreeing to sign it. Landlords who do agree to sign the estoppel certificate should also carefully review it to confirm its accuracy, as well as any inaccuracy may result in the tenant's lender, or the tenant's purchaser bringing a claim against the landlord, or the estoppel certificate being used against the landlord should a statement in the estoppel certificate harm the landlord. Please visit karldowdenlaw.com for additional information. The content provided is for general information purposes only and should not be construed to be legal advice. Further, any information provided may be outdated and may only apply to a specific market. This is attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.